keep the world spinning out of control, you have to understand a polar global grasp. So it's basically like a north and a south pole. So if you're going to manage the world, you have to understand the extremes, okay, to control them, to keep both, you know, to manage the most desirable stuff and the most undesirable stuff. This is important, but also to realize it as managing both like the radical and the impossible. So the radical may very well be intelligent. People who are inventing stuff, having success, are usually radical in their capacities to do that, or indeed in their sociologies, as technology enables whatever is going on. The systems of definition. It's very so basically to keep it simplified is to realize as technology develops, the most desirable people sort of have an expectation like, well, I have validated this. I have not sort of attacked this because, you know, it's possible to say this is a fascist technology. This is evil, and to do that effectively and to defeat that. So and it can go the other way around, where people say, oh, this is wonderful, we can do anything now, and suddenly there's disasters, or there is, you know, you're validating the most undesirable, validating terrorism basically, okay, or hatred, or poverty. You're validating poverty. You could validate the criminally insane. Okay, that could happen, or you could sort of devalidate rational action. You know, sort of compromise. Indeed. So again, the extremes, and this is, you have to sort of identify this when we're talking about a three-dimensional concept, a spherical, you know, the north, south, east, west, day, night, definitions to get it complete. You know, it's complex, so you have to go in layers. But so the layers are the most desirable, the most undesirable. The most desirable would be human intelligence. The most undesirable would be basically the environment. And if you do not grasp that, losing either one of them is a complete disaster. Okay, so the environment has basically zero intelligence. It is dependent on us, human activity. So you have to realize that it has to be moved before it is damaged. Okay, so if you have a forest with a bunch of leaves, if you can rake that up efficiently, you can prevent the fire, you can prevent the disaster. If you rake up the temptation, you can prevent the horde from arriving, that the fascism from coming in to sort of validate chaos, you know, to criminality or terrorism. You know, you could undesirables, okay, economic migrants, however you want to look at it. Again, north, south, east, west, sort of not at all geopolitical, but completely geopolitical at the same time. A paradigm crisis, where, you know, just defining what is the most effective grasp on the world. So the polarity, the north and the south, polarity of a singularity ultimately, without getting political, and yet it is policy that manages this stuff, that if it is working with artificial intelligence, we won't be going crazy. If we are holding the technology instead, then it might be the opposite of that. So again, the environment has to be moved. It's not going to move itself, unless if it's like a mudslide. So like, here comes the mudslide to save the village. You know, that's like wonderful thought, but it's the most unintelligent thing you could possibly do is just to wait for that, or to, here comes the dark clouds of smoke, or the horde, or the criminal sort of validation. Instead, you have to have technology that identifies, and with maximum efficiency and automation, and clarity. So you identify, like, not like, let's just remove the entire forest. No, you just clean it up. You prune your trees. You gently plow your field. You don't just like, all right, let's plow it for the next 3 months or something. You have to go gently and identify what is the most needy. And it really is, with technology, if you want to have a desirable civilization, you have to identify, again, the most liable stuff, which is, again, just the environment, just preventing wildfires, but also preventing validation of stupidity. Okay, and you do this with intelligent people, but you have to have them in the right place. George Washington is not educated, so he is becomes a desperado, and technology is not validated in America. It has become as such after many tribulations, but theoretically it would be better if technology is fully developed in the old world under reasonable conditions with new world rationale, okay, rather than the other way around, because you could be validating foolishness. You want to understand, is hatred going to be validated or functioning on social media, or is someone like George Washington going to be functioning in the old world to keep hatred from happening? This is the basic equation. The environment relocated to where it cannot arrive by itself is better than it burning. Burning is like hatred, like environmental catastrophes. And the same thing with the leadership. Okay, George Washington doesn't arrive in the old world. The global peace does not happen because of that. Okay, so they are the same thing. The most intelligent and the most unintelligent. Again, the environment has zero intelligence, and people who are intelligent don't just move like mudslides over mountains, over oceans. They need you care about the environment. You care about world peace, civility, prosperity. Okay, because with George Washington, it turns into austerity for the nation. He becomes wealthy, but it's after war after war after war.